Hello and welcome to Pedro's World. My name is Helene and today we talk about measuring a chain and then replace the chain. The chain is actually a very consumable part of your bike, and of course when you ride your bike the chain gets worn down. The rollers and the rivets in every chain link gets worn down and it starts to stretch. This causes push shifting and also the cassette gets worn down, and in the worst case the chain starts to jump. And when you're on the trail and it does that, the pedal can actually hit your shin very hard. You have to imagine your whole drive team acts like a team. So when the chain gets worn down, the cassette and the chainring also gets worn down. And when you want to chain the chain later on, the cassette and the chainring doesn't fit anymore. Nothing works. Checking your chain regularly and changing it before it gets worn down helps your whole drivetrain to last longer. And because of that, you also save some money. And for this you need a chain checker to measure the length of the chain, then a chain tool to open and close the chain, and depending on the system you need a quick link plier. So now we're placing the chain checker on the chain. It has different numbers on it, the 1, the 2 and 3, and that is the way you have to place the chain checker on the chain. So first you hook the 1 in, then you push at the 2 down and holding the chain with your thumb and your first finger, and then on the 3 you also push it down, and in my case, because the chain is in a very good condition, it doesn't slide in very much, so I don't have to replace this chain. But in case it goes in like 0.75%, you can tell here on the little 3, there are 3 little steps. So the first step at 0.5% and the last step at 0.75%. For example, 11 to 12 speed, the maximum is 0.5%. When you run 10 gears or less, the maximum is 0.75%. How I said before, my chain is fine, I don't have to change it, but because I want to show it to you, I would take it off and replace it with a new one. In my case, my bike has a quick link, and so I will show you how to use this tool. So you're placing it in there. I'm holding the rail a little bit, pushing, and that's pretty much it. And so it comes apart. Then you can remove them and pull the chain out. I took the chain off, and now I'm about to show you what a quick link is. There are different connection options for chains, but in my case I had this quick link, and I'll show you how this works. You basically have 2 outer plates with 2 pins on it, and make sure you have the chain ends with the holes. So you can put one chain pin in one hole and then turn it around, place the other one. On these 2 outer plates there's a bigger hole and a small hole, and it slides from the big hole to the small hole. So place it on each other, starting at the big one, and then push it towards the small hole. And if it's too hard, take a quick link plier and push it until you hear the click, because then it's in. So if you don't have a quick link, I'll show you now how to open a chain without a quick link with this chain tool. If you don't have a quick link, you have to push the pin out of the chain to open it. For this you need a chain tool, and the pin of the tool pushes the rivet out. And this multi-tool has also a chain tool included, and here you can see the pin very well, because on this Pro chain tool, of course there's also a pin, but it's covered by the sleeve, which helps to guide it. When you push back the sleeve, you can see this pin. So you place the chain, I'm taking out the end, onto the 2 spikes of the chain tool, and then you start screwing the tool in. And when it starts to get harder, hold the tool tight and turn it gently. Make sure that the chain link is still good in place of these 2 spikes. And then keep on turning, turning, turning until the rivet falls out of the chain link. And then you just unthread the whole thing again, because the pin is still in, and then it's separated. Now I'll show you how to connect the chain with the rivet. First, make sure the chain ends actually fit. So when the ends look the same, they don't fit, so it has to be exactly the opposite. Then you place them in each other, putting the pin in. Be careful when it's not a brand new chain and you get pins from a bike shop, you have to say which speed is the chain, because there are different rivet sizes, because the chains are also different sizes. Place it in the hole, take your tool, then place it just like before, start spinning. And as soon as it gets harder, secure it with your thumb at the top, holding it, and start spinning. Hold it tight and push the whole pin into the chain. The end is coming out again, and because it goes harder also when you reach the point, I check it now. Okay, still not enough. Place it again. So. Yeah, it's looking not too bad. Like, it's normal at the beginning, it doesn't move. I normally bend it like that way. And then it's getting better. If you have the feeling it should be more pushed in, just do the whole procedure again with the chain tool. And now it's time to break this end of the pin with a needle nose plier. When you're about to clip off this with your plier, make sure you're holding it tight. Because imagine when the chain is now mounted and it's that long, and you just place the plier and turning it, then the whole chain gets twisted in the traversal axle, and that destroys the chain. So for me personally, it's still moving a little bit too tight. I will give it another push with the tool, a tiny one. Let's see. Now, see? Now it's moving very good and free with any friction. And that's how you connect a rivet chain. So now we cut the chain to the right length and we remount it back on the bike. When you're about to mount your new chain, make sure it has the same length. Align the new chain next to the old one. Make sure they have the same ending. Like this, in this case, I have to make it from this side. So inner pattern to inner pattern. And then align it. Go all the way. And make sure during the aligning that the links are on the same level. Because of course at the end when one chain is used, the links gonna be not on the same place. So check this all the way and then make the new chain the same length like the old one. And to short the new chain, Just use this tool again and put the amount of linkage out which you need. I'm at the floor at my bike and I'm about to put the chain back on. One thing before we do that, make sure the rotation direction is right. In my case I have a Shimano chain now and I have to see the writing on the Shimano chain that I know it's the right direction. Pretty much facing the outside. So I start placing the chain on the chain ring and pedal forward, like that amount I would say. And then having it on the highest gear, placing it on the cassette. So you work all the way with the chain how it should go. So over the cassette, over the first roller of the derailleur, and then back to the second little roller of the derailleur. And when you have it like that, hanging from the front chainring and one of the back derailleur rollers, this tool comes handy. So this chain checker tool has two hooks at the top to make it easier to approach the chain link or the rivet chain connection pin. Because who doesn't know it? It's all under tension because of the derailleur, and then you hold one side and then the other side, and then you have to fizzle in the chain link or the rivet. And this tool is so handy. You can just place it on the top of the chain, pull it forward, placing another part of the chain, and then let it go and it's holding it. And then you have the hands free and no tension to actually connect your chain with the chain link or connection rivet. And it's now time to connect my chain with the chain lock. Make sure you also put the chain link lock in the same direction because it has little arrows on the chain link. So check that before when you place it. So now I'm about to place it. One side, other side, connecting the whole thing. Connecting the whole thing. So now the chain link is mounted, but we have to put it in the last position where it actually clicks in. Either use the chain link pliers for that, which I showed before, how to do that, or you put the chain link at the top, like about here, pull the brake and give the pedal a little push, and then it's clicking in. So now the chain link is here. And I will pull the brake and push the pedal a little forward and it will click in. That was it for my side. I hope this video was useful for you and you try it by yourself at home.